It was a cold day because it was in November of 1988, right after the Thanksgiving break. We had gone back to do a little bit of mowing that we needed to finish up on the canal out there off of 528 in Pearland. One of the other guys with me out there mowing hit a propylene gas line with the slope mowers that we were mowing on. He ruptured the gas line, and when the vapors finally reached my tractor, the explosion blew me into the canal. And I was engulfed in fire then. I was burned over 70% of my body, 3rd degree, with very bad inhalation burn, meaning my lungs were burnt. My eyes were burnt, deep 2nd degree. I was in ICU for 5.5 months. I was in the hospital for right at 6 months, but I was allowed to be released to live there in Galveston for 2 years. So I went back to the hospital every day for almost 2 years. And luckily my dad went to school with a gentleman that was a city judge here in Houston. He knew of Mr. O'Quinn and Mr. Laminack and got them to get in touch with my dad, my mom and dad. They were pretty much being told I was gonna die. And they didn't know what else to do, you know, I mean, there was nothing else to do.
The case is fairly simple. Pipeline company was Phillips, didn't mark their pipeline right away. And it was hit by a boom mower, caused a natural gas leak, exploded. The burn's horrible, and it's still emotional. It's still something that tugs at your heart. But it's great to see him getting along.
What they presented to my mom and dad and presented to me was, they not only let us know what was gonna be going on, they also let us know of things that we were gonna need before we needed them. And so they lined up a lot of things to where he's gonna need this next, he's gonna need this next, to where when we got there, it wasn't commotion.
Everybody's scared. Nobody knows what's gonna happen. It's all up in the air, and it's the first time they'd ever been involved in anything like this.
That took a lot of stress off me, off my mom and dad, to where all I had to do was get well. Get well, get through it. We got you covered here. They always gave us advice as to what to do. And then it was still always our choice of what path we were gonna take. I felt confident enough in Rick and Tom that they were gonna do the best for me. Any Martinez to see Tom Martin? Our case settled 5 years to the day after my accident.
It was a record-setting settlement at the time. I can't say what it was. It was in the 8 digits, and it was a record at the time.
If it had been $1, if it had been the world, it didn't change the 5 years of my life. As far as what I was doing and the job I was doing was not gonna be able to be done again.
He even coached Mahomes.
Really? The biggest change in my life since the accident is my limited ability to be outside in heat. Because I was an outdoor person. I had cattle, messed with show cattle. It eliminated all that. It just boiled down to the fact that the line that was struck was not protected. Probably the best that came out of most of it within about a year of that happening. Every pipeline in that area was marked.
And I do feel pressure of trying to get this family what's right. You know, have them smile, say, hey, you did a good job. And I think we did that.
I'll never forget Rick and Tom and all these guys ever for what they did. And that says more to me than anything.